Hey there and welcome. Today I want to talk a little bit about identity and how we choose to define ourselves. Me and my mom recently did this thing where we went to town and we talked with strangers and we asked them two really big questions. One of them was, who are you really? And the other one was, are you happy? So it was a really interesting thing, and it has to do with her retreat that she's doing, so I don't want to give anything away, but it really got me thinking after she interviewed the people. She asked probably around 15 or 20 people, and after getting so many kind of similar responses, I really started to notice a theme that people define themselves by what they have in their lives and by what they do. And really, that isn't who we are. So, since I'm really just starting out on this blog and I'm introducing myself, which I'm Sierra, by the way, if you don't already know, I thought it would be cool to do one of my first videos about who are you? And that's a huge topic because all the time people ask us, what do you do? What's your name? Are you married? Do you have children? But how often does somebody really ask you, who are you? And if somebody did ask you that, or even if you asked yourself that, would you have an answer? And would your answer be a authentic, true representation of who you are, or would it just be a resume and a description of what you do? So I want to talk a little bit about this. Let me get some water really quick. And by the way, I just want to mention, I like to really keep my videos casual. I am not good at scripted stuff. Excuse me, I am not good at acting or any of that stuff. So I like to just sit in front of the camera and be as natural as possible, be as real as possible, because that's how I am in real life. So I don't want to be fake with you on the camera. So if you see me if my house is a mess, I apologize. Actually, you know what, I don't apologize, because that's what it is. I'm just showing you me in my own element, and please bear with me because I am not a professional when it comes to video. So I just want to get that out of the way. We're going to keep it real, we're going to be natural, and just go with the flow. So I normally, when I make videos, I don't have a clue what I'm going to talk about. I just breathe in the moment and see what comes up. But right before I did this video, when I was finishing getting ready, I knew I wanted to talk about this question of who are we really, because it had been spinning around in my head for a couple days now. Well, longer than a couple days, but ever since doing this with my mom in the streets of asking people this question, it really was floating around. So first thing I want to say is who we are is very different than what is outside of ourselves. So for example, if you ask someone, who are you? A very common answer would be, I am a mother, I am an American, I am married, what would be a job title? I am a nurse. Excuse me, I ate a big meal, so I have a little burping going on right now, excuse me. Those are really common answers when you ask people, who are you? And I'm not entirely sure if people realize that there's a difference between what you do and who you really are. So to answer the question, who are you? What comes to mind for me? Who you are is something that never changes. Who you are is something that comes from the inside. It's an essence. It's who you were the moment you were born and who you're going to be the moment you die. It's the space within yourself that is present no matter what changes in your life. So when people answer the question with, I'm a mother, or I'm a nurse, the thing about that is that's something that you're doing in that point of time in your life, But if you're a mother and your child passes away, God forbid, and that's your only child, are you still a mother? Of course you're still a mother in your heart, but if you don't have a child to tend to, can you still define yourself as a mother? Let's go with a little bit of an easier example. If you're a nurse and you define yourself as, I am a nurse, that's who I am. Well, what happens when you retire? Or what happens if you get fired from your job? What happens when that external thing that you are defining yourself as shifts and goes away? Who are you then? Good question. So for me, when I reflect on it in my own private time and space, I really try to go to a deeper place than what I see in the external world. And I really try to connect with who I am on a soul level, because I believe that we are not our minds, we are not our physical bodies, we are not our personality, or we are not the roles that we play in life, like a mother, daughter, employee. We are our souls. That is what existed before we came into this physical world, and that is what persists after we leave this physical world. So this body, this personality, how you normally describe yourself, those are all things that come and go. They're temporary. So for me, who I am is something that's more permanent and constant, and that can't be changed by external circumstances. So let's give an example of who I am. I'm going to close my eyes and take a breath so that I can really give an honest, impromptu answer instead of thinking with my mind. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay, I just asked myself, who am I? And I heard, I am space. I am a space to receive experiences. I would have never thought of that if I tried to answer you from my mind, because it doesn't even really make sense to my mind. But that's the answer that came to me when I got quiet and listened. And that is an example. It's actually a good example of what I mean by being something that's permanent and constant, because me being a space to have experiences, that doesn't change. So an experience can change. Me being a wife, me being a daughter, all of those things can change. But me being a space to house all of these experiences, that doesn't change. So I talk about this, one, because I think it's a great way to introduce myself, and I think it's a really important question to ask yourself and to really start connecting with, because it's kind of crazy to think that we're living our lives and most of us have never taken the time to really sit with who we are. And if we don't know who we are, then what kind of life are we really living? And for who? And for what purpose? For what reason? So I think it's a really important place to start in your journey of living a conscious life full of purpose and meaning. I think it's a great spot to start, to really just ask yourself, who am I? And try it. Do it in your own home, in a private moment, or when you're sitting outside and you're supported by nature and your feet are planted in the grass. Just close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, who am I? Not what do I do, not what role do I play, not what do I like. Don't describe your personality. Describe who you are at the core. And just close your eyes, take a breath, and see what comes to you. And it should be interesting, because even the answer I just gave, I would have never thought of that. So I invite you to ask yourself that huge question and see where it takes you from there. So, okay, we'll start with that today. I don't want to overwhelm you. I have a tendency to, I don't want to call it ramble, but just go off on a bunch of different points in videos, but I always come back full circle. So for this first video, I'll try to keep it a little bit shorter and stick with this one topic of who are you, because that's a huge topic and we could go on and on, but we're just going to start with that. Ask yourself who are you and have fun. Ask other people around you, see what their responses are, and you'll notice if you just ask them without explaining anything, just if you say, who are you? It's kind of funny to hear the responses of, oh, I'm this, this, and this, and it kind of sounds like a resume. And the only reason that is because we're so conditioned to think that who we are is something that is tangible and that you need to be able to prove to others and for others to validate. So we feel really comfortable being able to have these concrete ideas of who we are. Excuse me, and the way that the universe works, that's just not how it is. It's great to have these roles, and it's great to have fun with your personality, and it's great to do a lot of different things and express yourself, but it's just important to know that that's all that it is. It's just something that you do. It's an expression of who you are. It's not actually who you are. So have fun with it, ask people if you want, and after they give you maybe their normal answer, their conditioned answer, then ask them, explain to them, say, I want to know who you really are. I want to know who you are without these external things. If you took away everything in the world and put you in a blank room, who would you be then? Who would you be then without your family and friends? Who would you be without your job, without your, without all of your material things like your phone or your accomplishments? Who would you be in a room alone with nothing around you? Who would you be? That's what I want to know. So, okay, on that note, we're going to end, and you'll see a theme in the upcoming videos that I always like to end on peace, love, and I pick the third word. I do peace and love every time, just because I think when you have peace within yourself, that's a really good state to come from, and it really changes your experience, your interactions, what you manifest in your life. When you come from a space of peace, of knowing that all is divinely guided, and knowing that you're protected, and knowing that you have nothing to worry about, that is a connected and expansive space to live your life from. So I think peace is really important, and of course love is important. When we really love ourselves wholly and truly and recognize who we are, and we share that love with others in the sense of we recognize who other people really are, and we give compassion and love for who they are at the core, no matter what they're showing us on the surface. When you can really come from that space of love as well, it makes a huge difference in your life. So we always end with peace and love, and then the third word will change. So today we're going to end with peace, love, and I'm going to take another breath to see what comes through. Peace, love, and essence. Let's connect back to our true essence, to our core of who we really are. Okay, thanks so much for watching, and until next time, peace, love, and essence. Bye!